What's the difference between flexibility and mobility? This is something that a lot of people don't understand, and in our experience, it's a very important part for your journey to becoming more flexible and mobile. This is one of the biggest breakthroughs. It's video 7 out of this 10 video series. Make sure you check them all out. But in this video, I'm going to show you some flexibility training for the adductors, for the middle splits, and also some mobility training, and I'm going to explain the difference between the two.
We are the gym that teaches people how to move instead of just exercise, because we believe that health is about performance, not just body image.
What flexibility is, if I explain the difference between flexibility and mobility, flexibility is a lot of different techniques that are designed to increase mobility. Mobility is anything that takes your joints through their full range of motion. Mobility is really an umbrella term for anything that takes your joints through their full range of motion. So flexibility training is done to increase mobility, and it's usually done, flexibility training is usually a much higher level of intensity. It's like where you do sets and reps, it's like a flexibility workout. Whereas mobility training is more like a mobility warm-up or a mobility cool-down. It's things where you take your joints through their full range of motion, but without the intention to increase mobility. Just the intention to either warm up or maintain what you've already got. Hey, in case we haven't met, my name's Rad Burmeister. I'm one of the co-founders of Unity Gym and the co-creators of the Unified Movement System, or UMS, where we make driven people strong, flexible, and fit using calisthenics and weightlifting and modern day flexibility methods. If you want to know more about how we get such amazing results with our tribe members, you can download one of the free blueprints, flexibility blueprint, strength blueprint, at-home workout blueprints. We've got a whole bunch of them. They're free. You can get a link in the description of this video. Or if you want to grab one of our amazing programs for strength, flexibility, or fitness, or calisthenic skills, again, there's a link in the description here. And hey, if you're ready to dive in deep and start online coaching with me and my brother and my team, where you can get daily coaching from us and get access to our ultimate program, the Unified Movement System, there's an opportunity here for you to get a 30-day free trial and an amazing offer on the price of the subscription. Click the link in this video if you're ready to dive in. So when it comes to mobility training, there's a lot that you can do that's considered mobility training. Like a deep squat loaded with a barbell is mobility training. You're training your mobility because you're accessing your full range of motion in those joints. Flexibility training, there's a lot of different stuff. You know, we teach passive stretching, loaded stretching, isometric contractions, eccentric loading, end range strength, where you take your joint to full range of motion and then you do contractions with the shortened muscle. And again, there's videos on all of those things in this series. This is video 7 out of a 10 video series, so make sure you check them out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you some mobility training first, because it's a really good thing to do a little bit of mobility training before you do your flexibility training. So I'll show you some mobility training for the hips. Okay, so this is primarily for my hips, but we're mobilizing a lot of joints as well. So if I go down into a Cossack squat here, and now I'm going to rotate through to this side. Okay, rotate back and come all the way around, and then I can change sides. So what you can see, what I'm doing here, I'm not stretching, I'm not putting my body under a great amount of load, I'm not doing anything that's causing me any undue strain, I'm just mobilizing my hip joints. And this 360 hip mobility, this is a really good exercise that we do every lower body day in our warm-up. Okay, and it's also something that I'll do on days where I'm not training. Mobility training is a really good thing for you to do on days, you know, where you don't want to train. You're not going to the gym, you're not doing any workouts, but you still want to stay mobile. You don't want to go backwards. You don't want to go to the gym the next day and feel like you're, you know, stiff and sore. Now, I can do mobility training for my shoulders by simply taking them through full range of motion like this. But this isn't mobility training, because this is not using the full range of motion of my shoulders, okay? It might look the same, but my full range of motion is really protracting my shoulders, elevating and going as far back into flexion as I can, coming back around, retracting the shoulder blades, coming as far back into extension as I can, and then coming down. You can see it's accessing my full range of motion. That's what we call mobility training. I mean, I can do mobility training for my spine by rotating like this. So now I'm doing mobility training on my spine, at least as rotation goes. I could do lateral flexion for the spine. So that's mobility training. Now, there's a lot of different things you can do for flexibility training, but I'll show you something. This is a more advanced exercise for the middle splits, but it's one that I like to do. So this is called a straddle up. So if I come down, okay, and what I'm going to do now is the easier version of a straddle up is where you use your hands and you come up and back down like this. And I'm doing sets and reps of this. If I do the harder version, I'm going to do it without my hands. So you can see I'm using the muscles and I'm doing an exercise that's designed to increase my mobility. So I could do, you know, when I do this, normally I'll do anywhere from 3 to 5 sets, okay? And you can see I'm really working here. That's not a relaxing experience at all. That's a real, you know, it's like doing strength training or something. It's an exercise that really is there to increase my mobility, to make me more flexible. When you do mobility training, it's a very light load on the body, so you can do it daily, and it's recommended to do daily. It's recommended to do mobility training every day. When you do flexibility training, it's a load on the body just like weightlifting, just like calisthenics training, which means you have to program it accordingly. So for example, with middle splits like this, I only do that once a week. So that's like when I do a middle splits workout, like what we do in our flexibility masterclass, that's the program where we teach the middle splits and teach progressions for all these things. We only do the middle splits on Wednesday, but there's a whole bunch of different exercises we do. This is just one. It's a workout. It's just like if you were doing a chest workout or a horizontal push workout, whatever you want to call it. You'll do multiple exercises on that horizontal push pattern. You might do a bench press with a barbell, then you might do an incline dumbbell press, then you might do some dips, whatever it is. So this is one exercise that I would do out of a middle splits workout that I'd do once a week. But for mobility training, like the 360 hip mobility, which is still making me more, it's reinforcing the flexibility gains that I've made, that's something that we do every day. So I hope that helps you to understand the difference between flexibility and mobility. And you really need to know the difference, because you don't want to go too hard with flexibility training. If you do too much flexibility training, you're going to really stifle your progress by causing yourself injuries or going into a state of overtraining. Whereas mobility training, go for it. Do it daily. Do it in your warm-up every day. Do it in your cool-down every day. Do it any day that you don't want to train. It's a really, really good thing to be doing daily. And if you want to know our best mobility routine, we've got a program called the 18-minute stretching routine, and that's exactly what it is. It's an 18-minute routine for mobility training that people get amazing results with. It's probably the best program to start with along your flexibility journey, because it's just this beautiful daily mobility routine that you do. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that video, and I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you check out all 10 videos in this series on flexibility training. Hey, thanks for watching that video. If you liked it, consider subscribing to our channel and make sure you click the notification bell so you know when our weekly videos are uploaded. Now, the best thing for you to do if you want to stay connected with us and get free online coaching is to join our private Facebook group. It's called the UMS Movement Mastermind, and we go live daily where we answer our members' questions. It's very interactive because you can post questions while we're live and we interact with you on the show. You can also upload videos or pictures of yourself with any movements, any stretches, strength training movements, calisthenics, weightlifting, anything that you're struggling with, and we'll critique you, give you feedback, let you know how you can get better. It's a really valuable resource. It allows a lot of communication with us and also our senior tribe members. You'll get answers very, very quickly, and it's absolutely free. So jump on Facebook, search for UMS Movement Mastermind and join now. Until next time, have a great day.